Hi everybody. Tomorrow in class we're going to be working on the state lab called Making Connections, and I'll need you to do a few things tonight to get ready for this lab. The first thing is you will need to read this part, this way you have an idea of what the lab is about. So take a moment and read that. Then you need to go to the second page here, and you're going to take your pulse rate. So see if you could have somebody help you with this by timing you, because you'll need to take your pulse for 20 seconds. Okay? The best way to find your pulse is to take your hand, to take the two fingers that you're going to take your pulse, follow your thumb down right to your wrist, and you should feel your pulse here. Okay? I don't know if you can see that. Okay? Right here. Right before it starts to turn to the side of your wrist. So if you, in 20 seconds, you count 20 beats, then you would write 20 here, and then multiply it by 3, and you would get 60. So 60 beats per minute. You'll do it 3 times, and you record your average here. This average you'll need as soon as you come into the classroom tomorrow, because you're going to write it on the board. You will see this data table. I'll have this written out on the board, and you will put a mark where you fall in this graph, in this data table. So if you had 70 beats per minute, you would put a mark here. If your average was 75 beats per minute, you would put a mark here. And we'll need this class data to construct a graph here. And then we'll work together on these questions, and then we'll come to the second part. This part will be done in class also, and I'll give you, and I just need to go over this now so you know what to do at home for the second part. You'll have this clothespin, and you're going to have to squeeze it as many times as you can in a minute. It seems pretty, you think it's pretty easy, but you'll be surprised. And you're going to record here what you get for the first time. You might get 120. Second time you might get 140. Maybe you might get 90. Everybody's different. And then we'll work on these questions. Now that's in class tomorrow. For tonight, the second thing you need to do is I want you to think about student A and student B, these two things. Student A claims that a person will be able to squeeze a clothespin more times in a minute if the person exercises first. Student A suggests that exercising produces a faster pulse rate, which indicates that the blood is getting to the muscle faster. Student B claims that a person will be able to squeeze the clothespin more times in a minute if the person does not exercise first. Student B suggests that exercise takes energy away from the muscles, and a person who has been resting will have more energy. So what I want you to do tonight is figure out if you want student A or student B, and I want you to write it here. And then I need you to take a look at the next few pages, and you're going to design an experiment. And you need to follow this procedure here. Write an experiment that will help you with your claim, student A or student B, whichever one you pick. When you get at the end of the lab tomorrow, when you get up to this part, you and the members of your group will discuss who you picked and take a look at the experiment. And then as a group, you decide which student you think has the better claim, and then come up with one experiment for your group to test that claim. So tonight, 2 things. Read this part, take your pulse, and then I want you to take a look at student A and student B. Okay, read this part up here, pick one, and design an experiment, and have it for class tomorrow, because I'll be checking it as you walk in. I'll be checking it before the lab begins. All right, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.